Couple of weeks for Jim Malander, under pressure to produce results and now flying solo after the departure of his right-hand man. Doubts over his own future as well. How will the team react to the instability off the field? We're in the West Country this evening as the Premiership continues during the Six Nations. An important game for two sides chasing a playoff spot. Gloucester against Sale, coming right up. So a quick look at the table to see how both sides are faring shows that Gloucester in fourth, 3 points away from the playoff zone, with Sale 3 further back in seventh. It's all very bunched though, in the middle of the table. So with the Six Nations up and running, it would be easy to take your eye off the Premiership, but just like during the World Cup, this is a crucial period for the clubs with the big names away and only 7 rounds remaining. It's up to those not involved with the national sides to hold the fort. With me in the studio and doing just that is Tony Diprose. Tony, nice to have you here. Need to have a good squad to challenge for Premiership honours these days. Yeah, you must have. Bath have done well this season because they've had a lot of injuries. Wasps have got a strong side. They're the sides at the top of the table. And both of these sides today are missing players, injuries, international call-ups, and it's about the depth of the squad. We'll see how they get the result today. Gloucester, though, rich vein of form at the moment. They've won 9 of their last 11 in all competitions. What are the reasons for that, do you think? I think they've built some confidence out of the European campaign, qualifying for the quarter-finals. Sale obviously had a bad European campaign, didn't get themselves through, and picked up a lot of injuries. You know, Redpath and Hodgson, key players for them, are not around. And, you know, you can see it. There's obviously a bit of dissension behind the scenes. Steve Diamond's gone off to Saracens for next season. And Jim Malander's, you know, feeling a bit of pressure. So it's a difficult time for Sale, but you've got to get points from this sort of game if they want to push towards the top 3. Which way is this going to go then, Tony? I think Gloucester are favourites. They're the home side, and they'll be looking for 5 points if they can. OK. Valentine's night, plenty of passion expected on the field. Perhaps not in the commentary box, although many say they do make a lovely couple. Tonight's commentators are Stuart Barnes and Miles Harrison.
Yes, now, once the decision was made to play these matches during the Six Nations, the clubs knew that they would have to dig deep into their playing resources, and all of those down below us here in the shed, Stuart, know that what happens over the next few weeks will probably determine what happens at the end of the season. This is the absolute fulcrum of the campaign, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an old cliche that leagues are not topped by a mere 15 players, but tonight we delve deep beyond the 22. Both squads to be tested to the full, but with players like Mike Hercus and Duncan McRae at fly half, there's still plenty of class on display.
So a weekend to play musical chairs in selection, although the Gloucester pack is minus England's Woodman and Vicar. It still looks a powerful 8, as this will prove. Argentina's Rodrigo Roncero comes in at loose head. Chris Forty, the regular hooker now, and a regular for many years. Andy Deacon, a true squad man, is in for Vickery. Alex Brown playing his 74th Premiership game without a break. First with Bristol, now with Gloucester, and he's partnered by Mark Cornwall in the second row. And the back row, a big, powerful 1-2. Jake Ball, the captain. Peter Buxton, his breakaway colleague. And in between, Junior Paramore at number 8. A Gloucester side able to leave out Forrester and Hazel returning from injury. Alex Page is the man to benefit from Andy Gummersall's England call at scrum half. Duncan McRae wears number 10, as he has done with such skill over recent weeks. Robert Todd and Terry Fanaloa back together in the centres with Henry Paul absent. And a great chance for 2 youngsters on the wings with no Simpson, Daniel and Garvey. Mark Foster makes his Premiership debut, and Josh Frape also gets a rare start. Full-back is one man who took his chance when it came along at the start of the season, the excellent John Goodrich. Sale have been reduced to what is just about the final fit 22 players remaining at the club after international calls and injuries have been taken into account. The front row stays the same. Kevin Yates in at prop, no Sheridan at the moment, he's injured. Matt Cairns at hooker, Andy Tittrell is suspended, and Stuart Turner is on the tight head side of the scrum. In the second row, Ian Fullerton has come through a test on his injured hand and returns to start with the ever-present this season, Dean Schofield. In the back row, Captain Alex Sanderson left training until the very last minute this week, but he's okay just to start, and he links with Hugh Perrett, the new signing from Australia. Number 8, Phil Davis, is thrust in for his first game of the season, having been injured in pre-season. At scrum half, here's a terrific story. Scott Benton, the former Gloucester man, returns having signed for Sale from Cleckheaton from North Division 1, back to the shed then for Benton. Mike Hercus, fly half, the American World Cup player, recently signed from Australia. It's the 2 Bs in the centre, Bond and Baxendale. And the 2 arch finishers on the wing, Steve Hanley and Mark Cueto. And with Jason Robinson out of the side with England, Vaughan Going gets a go at fullback. Sale ready to come out. It has been a difficult period for them. Injuries to key players, the loss of one of their coaching duo, and news surrounding the future of the other. The next few weeks will determine the ultimate assessment of their season, and also what lies ahead next season, both in terms of what competitions they play in and who will lead and represent them in those matches.
Well, on the subject of leadership, how important is the performance of Alex Sanderson today? You can't come to Kingsholm and get anything unless you fight for every ball on the floor. Sanderson is a scrapper. He plays his rugby on the level. He's got to be on that edge today and at his best.
Gloucester still have it all in their sights, but it's going to be tough. They know that having lost the Zurich Premiership final last season, this year it's all about just getting there first. A European quarter-final to come as well, but that's away to London whilst that won't be easy. But whoever said that Gloucester ever wanted things to be easy? Here's a club that thrives on a challenge and on this atmosphere.
The shed is like a 16th man. Not just the shed, this whole ground. Saturday night, 6 o'clock, we've had a lot of rugby, but they pack this ground. It's tribal. They come here to see their heroes play. They have done, well, it seems like forever. One of the best rugby grounds in England.
One of the best rugby brains at the moment in England belongs to that man, Duncan McRae, with a real impact since he arrived. Referee tonight is Tony Spreadbury, in front of what is another big Kingsholm turnout, looking for their side to go into that all-important third spot tonight. Sale knowing that defeat, and they would start to lose touch in their chase for the number 3 berth in the table. Resources stretched. Can these players deliver for their clubs? Mike Hercus for Sale starts the match. Taken by Freight, and that's yours. Coming straight to us here on top of the shed. Fine kick.
Looking forward to seeing Mike Hercus tonight. I think of the so-called smaller nations at the World Cup. Mike Hercus, an Australian who played for the USA, had an outstanding tournament, and I think Jim Mallander's made a smart signing. They've struggled for a long time without Hodgson, but he's a real playmaker.
Thrown by Cairns, and Gloucester come pouring through, led by their captain Ball. Page, the former Wasp man. Great chance for him, no Gummersall tonight. McRae to Fanalua, the big favourite here, if there is such a thing. Foster getting an early touch too. So both wingers involved, the youngsters. They'll feel better having had hands on ball. That's a little short ball to Roncero from Todd. Page again, quickly there to give it to McRae. Meant for Paramore to chase, and it bounces out into touch. So a chance here for Gloucester to once again put pressure on this Sale line out. No Chris Jones today for Sale, and what a figure he's been in this season.
Real pressure today on Fullerton and Schofield, because Jones has been one of the players of the Premiership. And you feel that Sale are going to have to compete in an area where Gloucester are so strong, with Alex Brown in the line-out himself.
Fullerton alongside Schofield in the second row. They can do well to themselves along with Jones. But today they come up against, as Stewart says, quite an opposition. It's going to be a major tussle in the line-out. Benton. Taken by Freight, and he's away from Cueto. Tackled by Perrott. Page, McRae, chance to move it wide here. Todd having to stop on that pass. He was losing his grip, but he held on to the ball. That was the key thing. And resets the attack. McRae once more, given to Cornwall. It was shared the ball by the second row. Now it's on to Freight, supported by Buxton, just outside that 22. Page finding Fullerton coming through, and some holding back by Sale there. And some pulling. Gives Gloucester their first penalty of the night. And Nigel Melville saying to his side, maybe push it for the corner here. He's sending out the signal. Pointing and a verbal message, but The decision in the end is to go for the post. And a little shake of the head there from Nigel Melville. I think he fancied the line out.
I think Gloucester quite rightly want the win first on the pitch. Here's a problem, though, for Sale. If they don't chase better than this from the kick from Scott Benton, Freight will come in field, as he did here, and you've just got to make those kicks good with the quality of a chase. It just wasn't good enough there from Sale. It enabled Gloucester to keep this attack flowing, and now Duncan McRae has a chance to put early points on the board.
McRae taking over from Henry Paul, and that is not a great start, but it still might work as it bounces around in there, and Steve Hanley clears the ball with his big left boot. Melville was probably right.
I was just thinking Nigel Melville maybe wasn't thinking about let's get tries. He was probably thinking we've got more chance of getting points by going via the corner. Duncan McRae has kicked at Super 12 level, but by no means is he a top-class kicker, and that probably means you will see Gloucester pushing for the corner, using the line out. Melville and Ryan probably thinking, come on Duncan, think a bit sharper.
This is the line out they could have had in the corner, but it's crossed the 22. Still pretty effective. Given back in the end by Turner. Gloucester get the footing.
Hey, no problem.
Tony Spreadbury, the referee tonight, got a bit of a boo, and his name was announced to the crowd. Of course, he was the man that awarded Munster their fourth try, therefore bonus point try in the Heineken Cup recently, which enabled Munster to have the home quarter-final, and Gloucester must travel to London Wasps. So you know what kind of reception he's going to get tonight. He's already had it. Paramore is caught. Still just makes an important meter there. Page is pointing something out to the referee. He's not happy with the scrum half. Now he passes to McRae. Missing out top this time, given to Fanaloa, and missing out Goodrich too onto Freight. Comes this side to McRae. Page. Whistle's gone, and Josh Baxendale wants the ball quickly. That was for crossing, an obstruction there against an attempted tackle.
A little bit side to side from Gloucester at the moment. Sale defending very, very tight in midfield. There's a lot of space out wide, but of course Gloucester don't have Simpson, Daniel and Garvey there. Frape and Foster are quick, but Sale at the moment feel as if they're enabling them to go wide and they can cover it. There you can see the crossing quite clearly. And there you see some traditional Gloucester rucking.
Cairns throws. Fullerton takes. Broken bone in his hand, the problem. He was okay in training this week, and he's delighted to be back. He was in good form before that injury happened. Scott Benton delighted to be back in the Premiership. He's been with John Bentley at Cleckheaton. He's been enjoying his rugby there, but of course still feels he's got a little bit more big time left in those boots. Former Gloucester player, most recent Premiership side Leeds, of course. That's got a long way from Hercus, but it's well caught by Goodrich. He continued his early season form in the Heineken Cup, and he blasts that one away with his left boot. Tries against Munster and Treviso in the Heineken Cup. He's a good player, this young man, and he shows it every time.
Brilliant play. He plucked that kick at full pace, checked himself for a split second, and then fired a 50-metre kick. That was excellent play from the fullback. And that doesn't half give your forwards confidence when you see a fullback able to claim balls and drive you forward like that.
Cairns battling with Henry Titterer at hooker for Sale this season. Of course, at the moment, Titterer is banned. Throws to Dean Schofield, who is now the only ever-present player in the Premiership this season for Sale. Schofield, with Jones missing this, away with England. And that's good hands and good link work. Davis takes on his first game of the season. Benton. Hercus, Baxendale, Hercus. The man given the Charlie Hodgson shirt to try and unleash this back line. In particular, the back three, and the referee gives a penalty there for holding on.
Don't go in. Do not
They're getting
go in.
quite aggressive in
Do
there.
not go in.
Tony Spreadbury Making a point to Page, the scrum half. His side have got the penalty.
And here you can see Sale committed for this one. A bit of boot on the back. Penalty is for holding the ball from a Sale player. It's not for that footwork. So once again, Rucky quite legitimately there, but Forte's taken a blow.
I didn't get a number.
Okay, thank you very much. Penalty stays the same. I'll speak to the captain.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Test judge just making sure the referee had seen it,
Judges
which he
report,
had.
Blue player, foot to the body. Original penalty count. Just go steady, please.
No worries.
That's fine. Thank you. Time on.
I think Sale are making a point to Gloucester that they're not going to subside without a scrap, quite literally at the moment. Very physical team, have had discipline problems this season, but they cannot, as I said earlier, afford to just come here, sit back and allow the home team to take them on.
The man there receiving treatment, Chris Forte, he had discipline problems here the last time that Tony Spreadbury was referee on this ground. He was sent off against Harlequins. This time, the recipient.
No problem. The hooker's down.
Got
Okay?
a blow to the head.
No problem. The hooker's down.
And he's a tough nut. He's not staying down there for fun. This won't be acting from Chris Forte. It's as hard as they come. And Tony Spreadbury's going across to check on the Gloucester hooker.
Hookers are not known for their theatrics, are they?
Can't see. Got to throw the ball in. Time on, please.
Can't see, he's got to throw the ball in, as the referee says. Better see now.
Don't panic. We'll sort the numbers out. No problem.
Alex Brown with this amazing run of matches in the Premiership. 72 starts. Becomes 73
Six,
today.
Sell, react.
Consecutive number of games, 74 matches, unbroken.
Go on.
The referee needs to make his mark here. Well, the whistle's going and the players aren't responding.
Come here.
One man,
No.
sir, one man.
Come on, DP.
Looked like there was a pull down of that drive.
Very happy for a competitive line-out. No issue, okay? But you must make contact when he's got the ball, when his feet have landed, okay? And you were too early. Okay? Simple as that. That's fine. That's the one.
Yes, that's what started it. And McRae is able to come infield now with this take, but he's turned it down. The orders have reached the pitch from Nigel Melville and Dean Ryan.
Well,
It's a brave call because it is 3 points normally from that position, but it shows that Duncan McRae is not too certain about his kicking today, but it also shows that Gloucester want to take advantage of some forward domination here.
well, they've got the penalty for the drive now. They want to really test Sale and Spreadbury's patience by driving again.
It was a good drive initially, and they need to get it on again, which they are doing. And Sale just showing signs of crumbling here. They're trying to be tenacious. They're trying to fight it out. Times literally, but Gloucester get it going again. Page, the scrum half, can just watch now as the forwards go on. Referee trying to get in good position to award a try. Decision totally justified, and the Shed in great voice now. And the man to come up with the ball is the captain. Jake Ball scores the try, but really it was Ball +7.
The boot of McRae to the corner. Sale's problem was they couldn't collapse it because they'd been pinged before. And in fact, Sale are trying to take out Gloucester men one-on-one. Gloucester keep their collective drive going. That's the key. Page, like a good scrum half, saying to Tony Spreadbury, there's the ball, there's the ground, there's the try. Tony Spreadbury says, you're right. Very interesting the way Sale tried to break that drive off by trying to pick off one-on-one, but Gloucester kept their shape. That's a good start for the home team.
And now McRae gets his kick, but of course it's a conversion with 5 points already in the bag. So It worked out very well indeed for Gloucester, and now it is working out superbly because McRae gets his no pressure kick and he gets a little bit of form and he gets 7 points as well.
He's got a fascinating throw of the right arm before he strikes the ball. Quite extravagant. I haven't seen a kick in action like that for a while. Just before the kick itself, he chucks that right arm up in the air. I think he's giving himself a line on the kick. Johnny Wilkinson it ain't, but that was an absolute beauty.
Hercus restarts, and McRae, his opposing fly half, sends the ball onto the roof of the shed. These two will meet again in March, just the way the fixtures work out. And this will be a big blow for Gloucester psychologically, and there's the little windmill effect of Duncan McRae.
It's almost like a long jumper there, isn't it, Miles, before he goes down the line. Stylish.
Bond.
A burden on Bond to carry.
And he lost it. But it's gone forward. As you hear the referee say, a call there from the touch judge. The officials always work as a team now. They have direct communication between each other. It does make such a difference. The game is played at such a pace. One set of eyes simply not enough. Hercus. Scrum was just taking a turn back for Sale. They got rid of the ball quickly. Oh, and it could bounce here. Baxendale kicks it on. Can Hanley get it down? No, he's outside. And that was mighty close. And it was nearly a horrible error in defence there from Gloucester. It was an awkward ball, though, wasn't it?
Well, it's a great kick from Hercus. Picks it up off his bootstrap, doesn't he? Look at the way it just stops dead on Goodridge. Toe poke from Josh Baxendale. And now, as we go under the arc of the camera, you could see Cueto's a metre or so outside it. There, Hanley doesn't quite get there.
Here's Vaughan going. Hercus didn't get the depth on that kick. The pitch is actually looking very good, isn't it? Considering how it has played recently, there's been an awful lot of rain in these parts, well, right across the country. But it's recovered pretty well. It's gone forward there.
Well, a decent pitch should suit both these teams. Both in the last couple of years have played some good running rugby. Gloucester, undoubtedly the most attractive team in England on current form. Great width and power through their packs. They're in good form, even with absentees.
McRae, Goodridge, brought into that line to use just that left foot. And going. The flag has stayed down. He's given it back to Goodridge, and he just swallowed that up and said, I'll take that. You're the fullback and out of position. And Baxendale gets back and calls for a very good mark and tries to take a quick one as well. And it's all happening here. Going, now back in defence. And Gloucester not 10 metres. And that's why Baxendale took it quickly. And Benton just slows it down now.
Another fine example of the promise of John Goodridge at fullback. That was such smart play again there, and Josh Baxendale leaned him off the ball, used his experience, but I tell you, that was smart play by this fullback. He really does motor.
Tinas Delport out injured, but sometimes you think Delport's a very good player. Goodridge might also be the first choice in that position. It's a great contest between those two that it's building here as McRae puts that ball out, and of course recently signed Rian van den Berg from South Africa too. One or two problems with the passport situation, but he's due to be part of this back three. But Goodridge is certainly part of it, making a big claim to be the #1 15 regardless of who's in the squad.
Yeah, if I was in Nigel Melville's shoes, I would be picking John Goodridge at the moment. There's very few full-backs in England looking sharper than him.
Two sets of replacements, by the way. 6 forwards chosen by Gloucester today. That's because they're running out of backs. Sale Sharks, well, you can see there a Simpson-Daniel. That is Mark Simpson-Daniel, who is looking to come on to make his Premiership debut on the ground where his brother James has made his name in the Premiership for Gloucester. And there he is.
Sitting next to Andrew Sheridan's quite a contrast, isn't it? I think he's about the weight of Sheridan's left leg.
Could slip him into his pocket, take him home. Here's Baxendale to Herkus and then Handley. Big man trying to use that weight. Herkus played well for the United States in the World Cup. Not always easy in a side that was losing games. Good work there between Foster and Goodrich, but Goodrich picks out a sailman this time, and now Hanley launches the counter-attack, gives it to Going, who loves to counter, but that's a cruncher coming in from Robert Todd. Benton, no knock-on. Cueto will act as scrum half because Benton is, at the moment, buried, taken on by Turner. Benton trying to get back to his feet. The other winger plays scrum half now, Hanley. And enjoyed it, I think, looking at the pass. It was a traditional scrum half dive, and now Goodrich clears to Herkus. Born in the United States, brought up in Australia, and putting a foot down. So out on the full.
Goodrich kicking very long at the moment and just prepared to take on Sale in the kicking game. Jim Mallender himself wants a fine fullback. Watching on, he'll be pretty pleased, I think, with the initial response to that Gloucester try. Plenty of ball for Sale.
.40 throws to the tail it goes, and Cornwall was waiting there, and it was well judged, the throw and the lead. Good timing there from the Gloucester forwards. Funalua stays on the ground. He's not hurt. He's getting back to his feet now.
Good pick and drive there.
They do that very well, Gloucester. Traditional aspect of their game, but it's stolen at that breakdown and brought away by Perrott. And then the knock forward.
I'll play both sides.
Well, they picked and drove very well first time, but then there was nobody there to pick up, and Perrott was away, and he looked very quick. Good 30-metre break. Scott Benton just couldn't hold it, but nothing wrong. He comes number 7 from behind the side, knocked out first, and then, well, there's the ball. I'm up and away, and a good turn of speed. Scott Benton just can't quite hold that ball.
Recommended to the club by Stu Pinkerton, who of course now has retired from rugby. What a lot he gave to Sale in a short time at the club. Goodrich again. Going again. It can be a horrible shape, that ball, when it doesn't sit for a full back. They seem to wait an age for that ball going. And that out on the full again, so another chance for Gloucester to establish an attacking position here.
Well, Sale can't afford to have Vaughan going that tentative. That was poor, and you can see Alex Brown, one of the most prolific winners of a line-out in the Premiership. And Sale will want him doing his line-out winning 20 metres from his own line, not 30 from theirs, because he does supply good ball.
Here's Page, McRae, Todd bringing Buxton in on the inside line, and Jake Bohr is there too. The two flankers hunting together. McRae again to Brown. Very good player, of course, in the loose too, Alex Brown. For a big man, he looks to have excellent touch. But this has come back for Sale, and that's evidence of how their pack are really scrapping here to win that ball.
They were good at the breakdown there. They knocked Gloucester off it and turned it over.
And Herkus again, and this time he was okay because he was inside his 22. Mike Herkus, 16 caps for the United States, and scored 45 points at the World Cup. A couple of tries involved in that, born in Virginia and then moving to Australia. And he's been in the New South Wales squad.
Well, he can play. He can play. He's got an outside break, he's got a jink, and he can kick.
And here's Page trying to pull this one out. McRae.
Too long.
Going. Oh, nearly lost it. Pushing Goodrich across the field this time and bouncing that one out. Sale have drawn 3 games this season, which is a frustrating number for them. They'd have turned those into wins, well, if ifs and ands and all of that.
Yeah, and you can see at the moment they're going to struggle to maintain that draw record if they cannot get a little more play in the Gloucester territory. At the moment, it's very much cherry and white. But I think what Gloucester must do is they've got to hit at the breakdown a little bit more. Sale are driving them back, and that means that Page isn't getting quite the slick service that Gomersall received last week when they demolished Newcastle.
36-12 was the score in that match. And Gloucester got the bonus point. They'll be hunting for that today, but first they have to win the match. And they're certainly not clear yet. 7-0. Sale still very much in this, although they could do with launching something inside the Gloucester 22. And they've lost the ball quite vitally there on the edge of that 22.
Well, Sale did well here. Gloucester actually won the ball, but Sanderson put pressure on, and Sale were able to come through and turn that one over. It's an old saying, good ball or no ball. That was not good ball, and it didn't help Page.
Old man saying it.
Does that give it some wisdom? I doubt it. Good drive.
Yeah, just grey hair. Here's Page to Goodrich. And that's good, because that was a tight spot. And Cueto makes a hash of that one and going to Goodrich. Advantage with the referee having a look, and then Goodrich deciding there was no space to work in. He almost took himself out there. Well, Mark Cueto tried to make it look dramatic.
To be fair to Mark Cueto, I think he just tried to catch it, and in the end he misjudged it, and well, the dive is quite dramatic.
Well, I'm not so sure. I think that was a bit of drama to follow the drop.
That's not a good scrum again from Gloucester. Sale competing well.
McRae, Fanalua and Foster. Referee waving that one on. Quite rightly, no offence so far, and this is Todd. Oh, strong. Not the tallest man, but he packs a punch. McRae again to Frey. Brown, good handoff on Hercus. Excellent handoff indeed. But then look how Sale respond again, and the encouraging tap there from Cueto to Davis, who's just delighted to have a shirt back on. Perrett was there too. There were 3 men as the reception committee, and there is a spike about Sale, and they are refusing to lie down here. But what a handoff from Brown.
Great handoff from Brown, but then, as you say, Sale do ever so well. Perrett's involved as well, working the legs along with Cueto to tear Brown in. And what starts off as an excellent fend by Brown, in the end it's disappointing, because Sale are able to carry him into touch. Cueto's holding him up, and then look at Perrett coming, working those legs, driving him away, and Sale turn over the ball. I've been impressed with Sale in the last 15 minutes with their attitude.
And considering the start to the game, we again once pay respect to Alex Brown, who has really had a super season. But the way Gloucester have started and the positions they've had and the ball that they've had, and other sides have crumbled before half-time on this ground, but Sale are showing no signs of that.
No, they're not, but there is a big problem for Gloucester. Without Garvey and Simpson Daniel, what they don't have is the pace and the nous wide to exploit the territory their forwards are taking them to. And I think they're going wide, and Sale are able to handle them with Cueto and Hanley. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Gloucester tighten up this game yet more and drive it through the middle and off line-outs.
Brown tried to get a hand in, but was denied that time. And now it's Bond, and that's a good line from Cueto. That's a super line from the winger. Perrett is there too. Now can Sale find that attack? Oh, Cairns just couldn't control it. And there were plenty of blue shirts waiting. That's a disappointment for Sale. For the first time in the match, they had found some space.
Oh, that's gorgeous midfield play. Baxendale's a slight decoy. Bond's inside ball is beautifully timed. And Cueto just glides on that inside line. And again, Perrett, who's had a cracking 25 minutes on hand. The pass just doesn't go to hand. But again, good break from Sale down the middle.
Davis is the number 8. Referee making sure Gloucester stay bound. This is Hercus. Long cut-out ball to Hanley. Is a beauty. And he's got a yard here on the youngster. But Foster got back.
It's a lovely pass from Hercus. We said he has distribution skills. It's not just a good pass. Just watch how he allows Gloucester come onto him. The timing and the angle is superb, and Foster does well. because Hanley gobbles these up over the years. We've seen him sprint into the corner there, and that's a lovely tap tackle.
It's a great tackle for a 20-year-old, isn't it?
Great tackle for anyone, yeah.
Well, yeah, but in your Premiership debut.
Yeah, and Hanley is one of the best finishers. But what a lovely pass as well from Mike Herkus.
A good rugby starting to build up now. This match as Page finds Goodridge. Hanley, quick throw in. There's pace on it. Here's Going. And he's through the gap now. This is Vaughan Going, looking all around. Cueto desperately trying to arrive. And he makes the catch, and he drives them on. That's well played, the winger. He got it very quickly, and certainly well played to Going too, but the referee has given the penalty for crossing. Useful for Gloucester. Last 5 minutes. I'd say they've been on the rack, but they've been stretched.
Well, what's happening, they're increasingly not finding their touch when Gloucester are kicking to clear their line. And that was a quick line out, and that led to a very good attack. Here's the crossing. You can see it's Fullerton. Just takes his man out. But again, that attacking position came from the fact that Vaughan Going was able to run from broken field. And the sailbacks are looking good in the open play.
As we know they can, it's just whether they can be released. Of course, Charlie Hodgson has been the man releasing them in recent times, but he's out injured. Herkus given that role, but this one all down to the back three.
Well, it's being released by loose kicking from Gloucester, and Vaughan Going is a very good counter-attacking player. Cueto never going to go too far there, but it was an unlucky end there. Sale certainly will be encouraged, and this is where I think Gloucester will want to go back to source.
Well picked up there by Buxton. He played in all the Heineken Cup matches. At last he got his run in the team. He's deserved it. He's been very patient. Fanalua, and he was being hurried into a quick one there by Herkus, but he stayed calm. Terry Fanalua closing in on Rob Fiddler's Premiership record for appearances for Gloucester. Fiddler now, of course, gone. Left to go to Bath. 116, I think he is now. It's one behind the Fiddler record. And he is very popular here, isn't he, Fanalua?
He's a really committed player. That was a sweet kick, but he's more associated with that famous sidestep that has less at the side and a very, very potent step. Tough man to play against, and he goes for 80.
And there's a tough man to throw against. It's Alex Brown who got right in there with his big hand and got this, another steal for Gloucester. McRae out to Fanalua, and now it's Frank. The other winger has a chance to shine. Tackled by Cueto. Jake Ball, the try scorer. And then holding on by the try scorer. So penalty here to Sale. And here goes Benton quickly, and the old man, the man who used to play here, going through the middle. That's good thinking by Scott Benton. Turner. Benton again. Bond. Cueto, oh, nearly.
They really are opening up Gloucester at the moment, Sale, aren't they? Super play from Scott Benton. He may be advancing in years, but Clett Heaton hasn't slowed down his wits. He saw that space, little dummy, and he is away. Herkus on hand. Sale are posing questions. And at the point I made earlier, you could see again a minute or two before, Gloucester moved the ball sweetly out wide, but without Garvey and Simpson Daniel, it just ain't the same.
Paramore is powering off that scrum. It's not a great pass from Page, but Goodridge, fine pickup. And he got a tackle there from Davis. Nothing late about that. He just couldn't pull out, and both players knew it. Nothing made of it. It was a bit frosty between the two sides at the start of the game. It's been played in good spirit, this. It's opened up, and it's a very enjoyable game. Only one try. That's not a problem. Here's Hanley to McRae, and this is a great chance for a counter. Frey, maybe another try coming here, because there are players all over the place. But Sale now form their defensive line, and it's all too tight, and Todd is put down. And Page finds McRae. Now he's seen some space in behind there. Now was he tricked? Yes, he was, says the referee, and that is certainly a yellow card. It's Sanderson who goes for the trip on McRae, and McRae had judged that perfectly. There was space in behind that Sale defensive line. They'd gone right across the field, but McRae detected that little chip over the top, and he was tripped, and that is a yellow card for the Sale skipper, and it's also a great chance for McRae to get 3 points.
Well, that was really classy play from Duncan McRae. He's going to go in for the corner. Super play. Sanderson with a late tackle, but you can see McRae saw it. He comes round from open. That's the line he takes. What's Sanderson? McRae comes late. No one sees him coming. Bang. Just a little check. It's almost just a sliding use of the boot there. The chip. Sanderson. It's not going to be obvious. And there's the foot. A little slide of the calf. Cynical.
He can have no complaint there. And of course we should know that McRae, even though it was a certain 3 points on most weekends in the Premiership, not tonight. He's going for the corner and he's going for the drive as instructed. But they must have been tempted, considering McRae's conversion and the way Sale have been playing for the last 10-15 minutes.
Oh, definitely, no doubt at all. But Gloucester will also think against that. They do have an outstanding line out, and they're only 10 metres away. Sale will be concerned here.
So it's 40 to throw. It's happened before. Can it happen again? Alex Brown, time and time again this season, has been the man to take the ball here, but he's not the option to be used here. Goes to Cornwall.
Good drive again.
And Sale looking worried. Get their heads down and drive it back, but for how long? Gloucester, buoyed by the noise being created here, are scoring try number 2. And this Gloucester pack and Roncero, the Argentinian international, are loving every minute of this. Every time they get the ball just short of that line, it's a real and apparent threat for Sale, emphasised by Roncero there. Ball before him. It's 2 tries for Gloucester from the same method in this first half.
Well, that's just smart thinking, the decision not to go for 3 points, because Sanderson is off the pitch as well. He's the cement that holds Sale together, and Gloucester just surge over the line. They probe left and right, and then Roncero through the middle, but one extra man. They've already done it 8 against 8. Let's go 8-7. Let's do it the same spot for McRae to convert. Cool, sensible thinking from Gloucester.
And McRae's lack of 3-pointers will not worry him if he gets chances to get 2-pointers, which he does again. And he does look good when he has a conversion. But Gloucester on the scoreboard look a whole lot better when they get 7 and not 3.
Going to hurt Sale, isn't it? Because Sale really have come back into this game well in 15 minutes. Their backs have looked sharp, but when Gloucester have got position, the pack have damaged with the 5-pointers, and Duncan McRae chips in with the 2. 14-0, and that's harsh on Sale's attacking play, but the catch and drive, that's all part of the attacking game.
McRae proving to be one of the signings of the season, Duncan McRae. 2-year contract.
I always thought he was a good player. I know there was all the brouhaha about the O'Gara incident. Yes, he is a feisty devil, but he's a high-class outside half. He thinks on the edge. He's a tight player. He's challenging himself and opponents. He's really made a difference to this Gloucester team. Improved Henry Paul a great deal, and he demands of his pack as well.
His pack is delivering today. 14-0, and Sale needing to try and nick something here before half-time. They've got 3 minutes plus time to be added on. But good scrambling here by Gloucester. Frape has seen that little push back from the boot of Brown. Referee plays advantage for that knock-on. That's powerful stuff from Frape. No advantage coming because Gloucester knock on as well. So Sale, whose last away win was at Harlequins in October, and they haven't beaten Gloucester since August of 2000. They've got an uphill task here now, trailing by 14 points to 0 at Kingsholm.
Yeah, because that hill happens to be a cherry and white pack, and at the moment it's dominating at the line-out.
McRae to Fanalua, trying to do what Frape just did, and Sale are having to dig deep with their tackles. And to be fair, they've done that. Cueto and Roncero celebrating his try with a big smile, and then making a tackle. And there's Perrott, he's had a good first half. Quite often on the back foot, he's done very well indeed. And kicked away by Hercus. Foster. Goodrich.
Again, Goodrich does give Sale the counter opportunity.
And it's with Cueto now. And Cueto tries to bust his way up the middle. Gloucester try and ruck over that, and Deacon's got it in his 39th year, and they've got men this side. If they can get the ball, they need to get this out. They had an advantage on this near side, but it was all slowed down.
Too many sides. First knock on by Sale, Gloucester.
Gloucester will at least put in.
You can see Gloucester back row doing well, with the assistance of a very powerful centre partnership of Fanalua and Todd, who work hard, turning over an awful lot of Sale ball at the moment. I think for Gloucester, Melville and Ryan are probably going to say to their kickers, fine touch a bit more often. One of the reasons Sale are in this game is missed touch kicks, or kicks that don't go in far enough, are enabling Sale the oxygen to counter. Got to tighten their game up there. Through touch, they're in control. Loose, Sale come back in.
Remember, Gloucester go third tonight. If they win this match, they leapfrog Northampton, who play tomorrow at Vicarage Road. Saracens against Northampton, key match that. Will Gloucester be sitting in third? It's chipped by McRae and it's chased by Foster. And it wasn't a bad idea. And the referee has penalised Hugh Perrott for not being bound properly at that scrum, leaving the scrum too early. And there's another Gloucester penalty, and I wonder what's going to happen.
It's one of the penalties of the moment. Last year we'd forgotten all about the blind sides and open sides not binding. In the Heineken Cup we saw a spate of these penalties, and Tony Spreadbury's on top of that one. It's good that refs are as well, because the whole point of that law is to give attacking backlines an extra metre.
Yes, you're right. It's certainly in vogue at the moment with the referees, and this time it was Hugh Perrott who suffered from the whistle of Tony Spreadbury. And now Gloucester will know. Even from there, they are a threat with this immense drive at the line-out, from the line-out. But it's loose possession, it's slapped down, and Sale are able to pull through and make the most of that. It's sloppy from Gloucester, and Hercus tries to pick out the main stand. Both sets of players will be disappearing down that tunnel in a minute, and Sale will have much to ponder. Brings a halt to the attempted counter. Mark Foster with a little shake of the head. He's loving every minute of it. At last getting his chance to run out in a Premiership match at Kingsholm.
Move, Gloucester.
He was with the England students this week, a non-travelling reserve. But he was pulled out of that squad. Gloucester without Simpson, Daniel and Garvey. So difficult this for the clubs. They want the revenue from these games. They also lose a lot of players at this time of year, and these are very important matches. It's a thorny issue for the sport in general. Much debated. Here's Baxendale to Cueto. Looked by Frape. Hasn't put a foot wrong. Like Foster, they've had good games, the two young wingers. Hercus, and this will be Goodrich, the young fullback behind his wingers, and he's lost that one. And Cairns, well, he had a juggle, and if he'd taken that, there were men either side, and Perrott knows, and he gives a consoling pat there to Cairns. Don't worry about it, these things happen, but it was close there for a Sale try just before the interval too.
Well, Gloucester maybe have stopped concentrating. We saw earlier a mistake from Duncan McRae knocking on an easy pass, and then John Goodrich, who's so sure under that high ball, misjudged it completely. You almost feel that Gloucester think, right, we're in the changing room at half-time, 14-0, how are we coming out the second half? And they've just switched off.
So running out of time though, and the Sharks do. Benton to Herkus. Going, Fanalur was looking for the interception, as so often does.
Hands out, Sal. Okay, that's fine. Quick ball, waiting, Gloucester, please. Stay back foot, please, Gloucester.
Benton's still having to look here.
Get away. That's fine, that's fine.
Now he joins the drive.
Hands out, Gloucester. Wait, please. Wait. Thank you. All on
Cueto's there too. There's no width, and Herkus is going for a long, speculative drop goal, which is wide. And Goodridge hasn't put it down yet because Sale were very slow to cover on this near side. He was just thinking about a counter-attack. He's also running down the clock. Tony Spreadbury, his reaction, you could hear it. He thought Goodridge was being very streetwise there for a young man, knowing that 14-0 will do Gloucester very nicely, thank you very much, at half-time. It's Cueto with the ball, though, off to Herkus and going. Oh, it might be worse, though, if Sal don't retrieve that ball. And going kicks the ball out. And Gloucester get a put in, and less than a minute, still time to play, so maybe it's Gloucester with the last attack.
Some rare errors in the last 2 minutes. The likes of Vaughan going, mixing it up with John Goodridge and Duncan McRae, and it's a lovely night for rugby. It's mild. Both teams ready for the changing room.
Page, McRae, Todd waiting for Goodridge. Well, it went between Goodridge and Frake, and the referee says that's it. Gloucester lead. 2 tries they scored, both from forwards. Jake Ball and Rodrigo Roncero, as Nigel Melville goes down to see his players, and he will be pretty satisfied with that half-time situation.
Yeah,
still.
without some of
the Cathedral City, a happy one at the moment with the half-time score of 14 points to 0. Alex Sanderson, of course, was in the sin bin before half-time, and that sin bin has now concluded, so he will be coming out to start this second half. And I'm sure we agree with his sort of loss of discipline, the assessment there. We think that Alex Sanderson knew exactly what he was doing, and he was saving a try, and he nearly got away with it. Well, he might have done on other days, but Tony Spreadbury was absolutely right to give the yellow card. It was a calculated risk from Alex Sanderson. It didn't work this time. Let's get down to the touchline and join Graham Simmons. Graham.
Miles, thank you very much indeed. Pete Anglesey is with me, the player coach of the Sale Sharks. And what's the feeling in the dressing room, 14-0 down at half-time?
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a tough place to come, King's home. We're just a little bit disappointed that we have actually, through the forwards, let in two driving mauls. They've scored in the corner twice, so we're hoping to rectify that in the second half.
Is the message to get wider and flatter?
Yes, and we just need that little bit of luck. We could have possibly scored 3 tries, but unfortunately a little bounce of the ball, maybe it'll go our way in the second half.
Right, Peter, thanks for your time. Miles Stewart, back to you.
Thanks, Graham. So all set for this second half. Sanderson back on the field, and Sale certainly, whatever the tactic, needing this first score. It could be a very long half for them if Gloucester can get the next score. And it might fall here for Jake Ball from the start to the second period, and Sale right on the back foot here. Referee warns them about offside. Page, McRae goes for the drop goal. Well, it's not gone over, but he's giving the penalty for offside.
Well, that was a terrible restart from Sale. That really was. Duncan McRae saying, do I go for 3?
This is time for the post, isn't it, to get that extra score, that third score away.
Yeah, it puts them clear. There you can see that's an awful tap by Sale. Jake Ball picks it up and drives, and this time, yeah, you're quite right. McRae is going for the 3 points because psychologically that hurts Sale. There's the missed drop goal from McRae, but he knew it was a drop goal to nothing. I think he kicks this one, then you won't see another kick for goal. You'll see them going for the corner and the drive. But 17-0, 14-0 is quite a difference.
The game has to be won before the fourth start to emerge of 4 tries and a bonus point, and well, that is now very difficult for Sale. It's Gloucester who get that first score in the first minute of the second half. It's a body blow, and it's McRae who just slots a very easy 3 points, and that was a shambolic start to the half for Sale, and well picked up by Jake Ball. Good concentration and skill.
Yeah, it was Ian Fullerton though, wasn't it, who just lost concentration from the restart, didn't claim the ball. You've got to win restarts, important part of the game. And now it is a real climb for Sale to get back into this.
McRae. Jim Malander will be watching all of this and just wondering about that start to the second half. He's without Steve Diamond, of course. He's left the club now and will be joining Saracens as their forwards coach.
I'm just thinking if Pete Anglesey was annoyed with those catch and drives they conceded, he'll be livid with that work at the restart. Livid.
It's Pete Anglesey helping alongside Jim Malander now. But it's over to the players in the second half to try and bring this one around. It's one game won by Sale since the turn of the year. And of course a memorable match against Leinster in Dublin. Is Scott Benton. Focus goes high, very high, but it's not even crossed halfway. Comes off a Gloucester hand, and then it was an open play, so Perrick was able to do that. Wasn't offside. This is Davis. Schofield and Hanley trying to get them going. Fullerton was there too. Benton now trying to pull the ball out. Gloucester have done well to slow this one right down to a snail's pace. The referee can see the ball, but the players can't. Two sugars, please. Anyway, it comes out. And Gloucester bossing this breakdown, and Sale need to clear it. Bond. Benton is back with Baxendale. And Goodrich to come forward from fullback here. And he's made the catch at the second attempt. It was a tricky one. And now Page looks around. He finds Fanalua offering himself as the kicker. And Terry Fanalua from the middle of the pitch. It was a long way to touch. Didn't quite get the distance, but at least he got the ball out. He only had one player outside him.
Andrew Sheridan there, warming up. Has been injured. He is the sort of man who could give Sale the oomph they need going forward.
Injury. Time off, please, Jeff.
Peter Buxton, I think.
Yeah.
Just holding his shoulder.
And of course, if Buxton was to go off, Gloucester have some real quality replacements. The likes of James Forrester and Hazel there. That's Brown competing, knocking on in the line-out. That's just up, and there's Buxton taking that bang.
Sale making a double change as Peter Buxton stays on, so no need to see Forrester or Hazel yet from a Gloucester point of view, but we will see two new props in this match. Barry Stewart, he's replacing Stuart Turner. Andrew Sheridan has come on. Good to see him back. Had a shoulder injury of late. And he replaces Kevin Yates in that Sale front row. So two new props. Cairns stays on as hooker and throws. Goes to Sanderson. It's loose and it's back with Gloucester. And Brown had it first and then the pack.
They are missing Chris Jones, aren't they, Sale? Really are. Gloucester all over them, putting great pressure on.
Sanderson came flying in, but the ball has evaded him. It's gone the circular route. But that's a penalty to Sale as Gloucester go over the top. Stay on the feet, says the referee. Sanderson again wants the ball off his opposing skipper for a quick one, possibly.
Of course, with Chris Jones there, Sale could say, right, let's drive this one deep into the corner, catch the line, and then we've got this excellent back line. We've got options. As it is, they are going for touch, but they do run the risk of getting taken out by Brown and his Magpie mates in the Gloucester line-out.
Alex Sanderson is a fierce competitor, and he's just been trying to lift his team for what is their most important line-out of the match. If Sale are going to get back into this game, they need to establish a platform here. If Gloucester steal this one, then it's going to be a torrid second half for Sale, you feel. They must take advantage here. Cairns to throw. They get it back off Schofield, and then Benton out to Hercus. At least they have it. It's Baxendale, and then Vaughan going. And now it's Graham Bond barging through 1 on 2 tackles. Tackled by Brown in the end, but that was a good carry from Bond. But it's back with Gloucester, and this is a great chance to counter as Paramore gets it out to Foster, and Foster's going to take on Sanderson, but that's good pace from the Sale captain, who's against a winger there. Hanley's got back. Cueto. It's all cherry and white in front of him, so he goes over the top of them. And now I need to chase and tackle here as Jake Ball's caught that. And here's 40. Page, Fanaloa, Goodrich, McRae.
It was all too lateral, so McRae took the tackle, but it's turned over.
And it is turned over very well indeed for Sale. There's a man down injured. I think it's McRae. Hanley turns it back inside to Benton, and Benton is going through here to get a try against his former club. They were a man short at least, and Sale made them pay on the short side. What a moment that is for Scott Benton. There's McRae. He was in trouble from the moment he took the tackle, and Sale exploited the blind side. Look at this.
Well, they had a 4-on-1, and they realised that Hanley has all the pace. He pulls Fanaloa wide with that pace, and Benton's picked a really good line there. Sanderson making sure Paramore doesn't get near him. He wasn't going to anyway. McRae takes the tackle. And there you can see Davis in very high. The ball turned over, and Sale do quite brilliantly. Gloucester thought they had a chance. Suddenly it's ball turn the other way, and Benton opens this game up again, and it's a well-finished score.
It was a high tackle, wasn't it? And McRae, when he sees that again, might wonder why a penalty wasn't awarded. And he's still not right, Duncan McRae, as we watch Hercus with a conversion to Scott Benton's try against his former club. Sailed back in the match. Hercus taking his time here. The Shed sitting on his shoulder. And Hercus responds quite beautifully. What a kick that is, with the Shed right behind him. With every point certainly mattering to his side. Mike Hercus with that conversion, and Sale are right back in it. Here's that tackle.
Well, this is what happens with a turnover. Hanley gets the ball. Look how far Fanaloa, the only cover, has got to go. That's why they get the score, because Fanaloa is stretched so far away, and that's why you've got the inside ball.
And again, it's the mistake from the restart to the game, and Gloucester straight back on the attack after that knock-on. What about the tackle?
I think it's absolute. Well, it's high, but I've got no problem with it. I don't think he went high, and I think that's a fair call. No problem at all with that.
McRae to Fanaloa. McRae again to Todd. To Foster. And Hanley's tackle. So you would not have given a penalty?
I would not, no. I don't think it was dangerous. I don't think it was that high. I think it was fierce. McRae was low. He does run in that sort of angle. He slants at the tacklers. Just watch coming into shot, Davis. There, he's got hold of him and he's wrestled him to the ground. It's a hard old game, and I think that's a fair call.
Here's 40. Doesn't really matter either way now for either side. They play from here. It's on the scoreboard. The try came as a result. McRae trying to get Gloucester back into their position of dominance. Oh, and there, an upending tackle from Graham Bond on John Goodrich, and McRae has survived the moment. Meanwhile, on this near side, the touchline has stepped in because two players, or maybe three from each side, were involved in a fracas. Now they're joining the defence and the attack.
Hands out, please, Blue. That's fine. Yeah, yeah, fine.
Todd. It was Brown.
Lead it, please,
Good
Sal.
tackle from Bond again.
He's putting himself about. Just what his side needs. Just what they've had all the way through the game from everybody, Sale. Great commitment, if not the points. Now they've got 7 of them. And they're coming back. But for how long is Goodrich burst through? That's superb play from Goodrich! Oh, what a run from the fullback. Benton, the try scorer, turns defender. And how he had to make that tackle as John Goodrich was flying. Here's McRae to Fanaloa, and they've got men here. Freight knows it. But that's a great decision by Hadley to come in. He left his post on the wing. The referee playing advantage. Fanaloa goes over the top. They try to stop him illegally. And now the referee has another call to make, and he's giving a penalty try. And I think that's a fair call. Fanaloa, judging by the bounce on the ball, would have got there. He was stopped after the chip, and Gloucester are back underneath the post.
Well, if that is a penalty try, there's also a yellow card. It's a big call again from Spreadbury. We saw the one in Munster. Smart play by Fanaloa. He is tackled late by Sheridan. The question is, we need a slightly wider angle. There isn't a lot of sail cover there. On that shot, you've got to say your initial view is absolutely spot on here. Fanaloa knows there's no one there, no full-back. The tackle is made. I think he's got 2 meters on anyone else. The ball is definitely weighted. I reckon that's a penalty try.
Yeah, he's there first. The only man threatening was Cornwall, and he didn't get there in the end, but he plays for Gloucester. Fanaloa would have got there. A try would have been scored, and that satisfies the referee's need, and I think it's a good call by Tony Spreadbury.
So why doesn't Andrew Sheridan go to the bin for that?
Indeed, that's the follow-up call. In view of the trip from Sarnison earlier in the match, which went to the sin bin. Simple conversion for Duncan McRae. Another 2-pointer for him, and Scott Benton's try is cancelled out. Penalty try for Fanaloa and his team.
Look at the time that ball was in the air. It was a deft kick. And I think now Gloucester have got that score. They've got their noses in front again. They brought James Forrester on, and that means they are sniffing for that important extra try.
Yes, Buxton's off, and now Cornwall is trying to barge his way up the field. And Page gives it to McRae. And he couldn't release Fanaloa that time. And Cairns did enough to make sure that Gloucester were in touch.
Usual sloppy hands there from McRae. But John Goodrich once again showing his virtues as an attacking fullback. Comes from out to in, show of the ball. He's not getting the pass away, so he makes the right decision. It's a tremendous tackle from Scotty Benton. Look at this, the show from out to in. Can't get the pass away. Benton does it quite brilliantly there, because that would have been another one of Goodrich's fortes, flying down that left flank.
Or Fortes Goodrich. They're all playing well. Fullback, hooker. And Gloucester now sensing that the ship has been steadied after that Scott Benton score, and that their chance is here to take another crucial point. James Forrester is on the field, and we know what he can do. He's had such a good season when coming on. He scored 4 tries as a replacement this season, the 5 that he's scored. And he's perfect as an impact player when it starts to break up all over the field. He can cause havoc.
He is one of the Premiership's stellar talents, believe me. He's got a huge future. And Sale again struggling to stay in this game because of their line-out.
Bond takes the responsibility away from Going, who was not quite going to make it, the fullback. Good decision by Bond. And now Sheridan, typical of him. Benton, and then Hercus with that inside ball. Benton again to Herkus. He's learning all about the tough and rough of the Zurich Premiership in England, Mike Herkus. He can hack it, but it's tough. Sanderson.
He just offloads soft passes, Herkus. I think he's got something.
The referee's seen something here, an offside, which is a penalty, and therefore Sale with another chance to kick for the corner here.
Will be Herkus.
Very loose today.
Talk about impact players, Sheridan too, we can see that already. He's come on and barreled on.
Oh, he's a real plough, isn't he? Good kick from Herkus. Of course, if Sale can catch and win the ball and they're 15 metres out and they get that big fella the ball, hard to stop.
I don't know if he's looking for a sponsor, personal sponsor, but if Eddie Stobart is a rugby fan, he might get behind this man. You know what I mean. Benton to Herkus. Now it's Baxendale and Davis. Benton again. Herkus once more to Cairns. Herkus again. Playing those little pot balls, both outside and in.
Let it come back. Waiting, Gloucester.
As the heat goes on, he looks more and more confident. And there we go. Mr. Sheridan.
Hands out.
And there's Stewart, Barry Stewart, another new prop on the field. This is good from Sale. They're taking Gloucester on right in their face. Sheridan again. And it's the appetite for work. But holding on. And the referee gives Gloucester a penalty and a chance to clear.
No problem, lads.
One too many drives from Andrew Sheridan there. He's a strong man. He pulls 2-3 defenders to him, but in that instance the 3 defenders meant he had to hold the ball not to concede the turnover, and the Gloucester players pointed it out to Tony Spreadbury vociferously.
Here's Andrew Sheridan doing what he does best.
He's a strong old boy, isn't he? Roncero out the way, former Bristol teammate Brown. And Duncan McRae says, I'll just pull you down in the end. Second time that he ran away from support, Gloucester took the ball.
One man sack, that's fine. Four go back. That's fine.
There's the scrum half. Simon Amor away with the England Sevens.
Stay back, please, Blue.
And Donegal away with the England first team. Plays tomorrow. Goodrich. And this will be Goings. It was a swirly one, did well to deal with it. Ooh, tight. In comes Jake Ball. Makes it very tight. Benton. Sanderson. It's good leadership.
Lay on, that's fine.
The side wants to see.
Hands out, Gloucester.
And
Lead
it was
it, Gloucester,
Fullerton
please.
with him. And now it's Benton. And here's Sheridan.
Hands on, balls out.
And
Roll away.
Forrester trying to go with him.
Roll away. Tackler,
Pitch
got
to
to release
lift.
the tackled player. No problem. Tackle player, you got to release the tackled player. No problem. It's fine.
Gloucester, though, they won't mind conceding the penalty there. 17 points up. What they don't want to concede to Sale is good, quick second phase ball, and at the moment they're doing a job pretty well there.
And out from Herkus.
Gloucester 5.
With a tremendous turnout here. Packed all the way around the ground, and Gloucester 12 out of 14 on their line out, and they are making a change now in the second row. Done very well for them today, the line out, and Cornwall has gone off to be replaced by Adam Eustace. The referee's blown his whistle.
And that is the award for the least straight throw of the evening.
What do you want, Gloucester? Thank you very much. Let's go. Cardiff. Hang on.
Just confirm that change.
Right, hold it.
Adam Eustace, no, very useful man to bring on.
Waiting.
considering this pack is without
Away, ball's got hands out, get away! Let it keep going, Gloucester!
strength on the bench. Eustace, Hazel, Forrester. Anyway, it's the backs trying to sort this one out, and it's McRae.
That was a touch of class.
And for the first time from Duncan McRae, and Fanalua is again the kicker.
Very Bell Gloucester out there. I'd say communications might just have broken down here. It's Andy Deacon saying, I don't want to take that ball. 40. He tries to duck out the way, bounces, McRae bails his hooker out.
He started every game since he arrived, Duncan McRae. Benton to Hercus. Kissing out back to Neil, given to Bond, and now it's Hanley to Going. Didn't even look, knew Going was on the outside very quickly, and there's that young man Mark Foster again making a tackle. He's been on loan with Newbury, National Division 2. He's obviously used his time well there to be match sharp.
Well, the move looks good, but it doesn't stop the Gloucester drift at any stage, does it? Foster's not taken in by Hanley's show of the ball, and he just ushers Going into touch. And Eustace with a first take.
They've made a change, but no change. As Gloucester continue to take good line-out ball and drive up to halfway.
They still want one try more, Miles. They want another bonus point.
Jake Bohr takes it on. This is Page. Forrester trying to get with him, so is McRae. Page just couldn't offload, but he sets it back to Forrester, and now this might be the moment to get that fourth try. Todd onto Fanalua, just behind in the pass. Had that pass been a good one, Freight might well have been in the winger, and that could have been the bonus point try. We still have plenty of time, but it was a good chance. I think all the Gloucester players know it.
That was traditional Gloucester play, wasn't it? Surging drive by the pack. Ball with the pass, and Page does well, a nippy little break. And what he does well here, he doesn't try and force the ball away, sets it up, and Forrester again shows that awareness, and this should be a score. Todd, though, puts the pass behind Fanaloa. No one took it on them really to straighten. I think even if that pass had been in front, nobody had checked the sail drift.
Page never really had the chance to pass, and he kept his composure there well to keep the move going, and the breakdown came as the centres didn't get their communication right.
I think we're at this stage at Kingsholm when you think realistically Gloucester have probably put this one away, but with the bonus point now for 4 tries, it is a major subplot because Gloucester are chasing Northampton, and that battle for third place could go down to 1 point, and Gloucester are in a position to get all 5 here. They need it.
Gloucester will go third tonight if they win this game, and if they win with a bonus point, they will have 46 points to Northampton's 44. Northampton with the game in hand. That comes tomorrow at Saracens. It's that tight going for third. A number of clubs involved, not just those two.
Leave it, Sharon. Hands away, tapping her.
It's come back on the Sale side for Benton. He seemed a bit surprised by that and reacted very well. A good kick too. Scott Benton, maybe a little bit worried about his match fitness at this level, having been out of the Premiership for a while, but no signs of that so far. Dean Ryan and Nigel Melville, the men behind the Gloucester team.
They will not be happy men at the moment because Gloucester were impatient then. They had Sale on the rack. All they had to do was keep driving. Sale were there waiting for the 4th try, and Gloucester surged for it, turned it over, and Benton did very well. And that was a chance for that all-important bonus point gone.
There's Ben Lloyd on for his Premiership debut. Another great moment. And Chris Mayer has also come onto the field.
Gloucester, half a metre wait. Gloucester, half a metre. Sale, stay there. Thank you very much.
Does give the youngsters a chance, this playing during an international period. Here's Paramore. Nothing young about him these days, but he's still a fine player. Junior Paramore. The junior bit is the only suggestion of youth, and that's long gone.
Too slow.
Penalty to Sale.
Squeeze ball nice and quick. Into contact. Too slow, squeeze ball.
Too slow, the ball coming back. And Hercus again, but it's a long way out for Sale to hurt Gloucester from there. Now, Mark Simpson-Daniel is about to come on here for his Premiership debut too. And this is how Benton got hurt. With that slip, as he cleared from Gloucester's wasted chance.
And he's done well, hasn't he, Scott Benton? You know, it's a heck of a step from Cleckheaton to Kingsholm, and I think he's been valiant. He's risen to the occasion. Old Gloucester man scored the try and has been, well, I think he's done as much and more than you could have expected of him today.
Ball is loose. Eventually it's a Gloucester player who dives on it. And now it's McRae. He was very deep there, had time to really pull the trigger a long way back and thump the ball away, but it's still with Sale, and it's Hanley against Foster. Now, can the experience of Hanley show here? He's trying to take him on the outside and does, but Goodridge was there and needed to be, because Hanley had taken out Foster for the first time in the match, and he enjoyed it. He's been trying to for a while, and Steve Hanley put the burners on there. Well, he had 15 metres to work in, and he's in and out there with a lovely outside break. Foster's beaten. No ankle tap that time, but it's well positioned by Goodridge there. In and out, the youngster beaten, and the fullback saves the try. It's a Gloucester steal, but for how long? Foster with strength. Page and McRae. That's a slice. In the end, it's not bad, the distance, but he knows he can do better, as that reaction shows. But Gloucester again getting in on that line out. Well, they're making a mess of the Sale line out. And when you think in the Heineken Cup recently, the one aspect of Sale's game that was excellent was their line out. Chris Jones missing. They miss him a great deal, and the balance has swung so far in Gloucester's favour because of Alex Brown today with his mates. There's Simpson-Daniel trying to make a break, and inside to Sanderson. Fullerton. Good break there from Mark Simpson-Daniel, playing against, of course, the club that his brother plays for. And here he is in front of those posts, trying to launch something here. Hercus, Naylor, swiveling out of that tackle. Simpson-Daniel scurries across. Hercus, through here. Inside it goes to Lloyd.
Get away, get away! Leave it.
And some of the new faces making an impact here for Sale. Hercus again to Stewart. Gloucester in danger from a Sale point of view of stealing this one, and they have. Goodrich over the top of Hercus, but now it's with Cueto. 24-7, Sale running out of time inside the final 10 minutes. Sheridan stopped. Stewart. Paramore saw that as his mission, didn't he? Simpson-Daniel to Hercus, and in comes Roncero. He wasn't going all the way. And Gloucester. Enjoyed the interception though, didn't he? McRae, well, he might, and that is a beautiful double step from McRae, and he's got Forrester this side, Fanalua that side, Frape is outside, Fanalua still. Oh, is this another moment that Gloucester are missing? Sale have got men back now, but they'll need to reorganise and regroup quickly.
Short side's on.
Page gives it to Goodrich. Page in there again. Todd waits, but he's missed out with that lobbed pass to 40. Todd has it now, though. Goes for the handoff on Lloyd and still goes on. It's a good run from Todd. Fanalua. Well picked up by Bohr. And the flag should go up, and does. Some desperate defence from Sale.
And dazzling attacking from Duncan McRae. He goes right to left, one step, then the other. It's absolutely beautiful. Perhaps he should have gone James Forrester. As it is, the pass is a good one, but Sale were able to get across. I think maybe he goes back inside. Forrester with that galloping stride of his is away, but this is high class. He's come from open to blind, one and then the second. We saw him score a gem against Newcastle last week. This guy is a classy operator.
His best chance was to go right, having made this double step. Take nothing away from McRae for that beautiful piece of play. He did have a look right and left, and opted on the left option. Wasn't a bad passage, you say, but I think Forrester would have been away had he been released with that long, rangy stride. Cairns, Hercus. It was Davis who took it in. And Hercus is half charged down by Todd. He got a hand on it. Paramore, bonus point! Yes! For Gloucester. There's the fourth try. And in the end, it was from an error. But that was an error forced by the situation of the match. Gloucester with the pressure, and now it seems with all the points too.
So important for Gloucester, not just to win tonight, but to get the full quota of points. They've done it now. Mike Hercus, he's had a smart game, attacking-minded. Todd with the charge down, and then the sense of mind to just wait for Paramore, and they love him here. The little chip from Hercus, trying to force the game. There's the charge down. It's not a knock-on, and then Todd, presence of mind, just to wait for Paramore, and he bulldozes over from his sort of range.
And McRae converts, but for once that conversion doesn't really matter in the context of this match. It's all over. It's won by Gloucester. It was the try that mattered, and it's the badge that matters too, to those who wear it on the field and those who watch in the stands. And Hercus was trying to force it. He had to. He thought there might be a chance of a breakaway. He took the risk, and Paramore took the score. And they get their wish, the coaching staff, and Andy Hazel gets his wish too, back into action as he comes on to the field, and it's Paramore, the try scorer, who goes off. And listen to this.
Now Paramore is a very fine servant of Gloucester, but now with Hazel and Forrester on for the last 7-8 minutes, they've got some real pace on that back row.
So I've also made a change at hooker with Johnny Rodham coming on for Matt Cairns, and this is Hercus not releasing this time. Now there's crossing against Gloucester. Sorry, against Sale. That's why the move was brought to an end. The first offence was the offside against Gloucester. So that's a penalty to Sale. That's why there's no advantage. There's the crossing. You can see Hercus allowed to go through. Graham Bond creating the way, but the offside had happened before that, so it's back for the original offence. And here's Hercus,
who, despite that try, has had a pretty good day in difficult conditions. 31-7, but I think Jim Mallender will know that his team has gone down without subsiding. They've fought all the way, but the extra power of Gloucester at home, where they have such self-belief, has been a major difference between the teams, and of course the line-out.
well, that's good though, as Sarnison gets that over the top, right over the top, long way over. And Sheridan explodes again. Simpson-Daniel waits. Mark Simpson-Daniel for Sale. Hercus looking for Cueto. Simpson-Daniel again to Mayer, and there's a gap in front of him. He saw that and went straight for it and took the gap to score a super individual try. What a good score that is from Chris Mayer.
A tremendously defiant score from Mayer. That was very, very sharp running. Gloucester perhaps one eye on the scoreboard, one eye on the last few minutes to come, but the outside break there is a good one. And then the change of pace. Fantastic finish from Chris Mayer. It's consolation, but as consolations go, that is a beauty. McRae and Bohr can't get there, and nobody is going to stop him.
He was so aware there, he saw what was in front of him and he just went through. And nobody was going to stop him. He was the boss of that situation. Focus very deliberate in his preparation. I saw the windmill arms of Duncan McRae, and now this studious approach of Mike Hercus. But he dragged it. Again, it's a conversion which isn't going to change the result, and probably not the bonus point situation either. But it was a very good try, scored by Chris Mayer. You can enjoy this one again.
Page not getting there. It's a change of pace, isn't there? And you can see all of Gloucester sprinting back, but they ain't going to stop him.
Sanderson, like every captain, will want his side to finish well, and that's what Sale are trying to do here. But they have lost again. And it's all very worrying. Bond, just one victory in 2004 thus far for the Sale Sharks.
And Gloucester were one of the rivals for third place, and it's a 5-0 point score. That's the problem.
I think third's gone now for Sale. We can almost say that tonight, but what about Forrester? He's nearly gone. Jake Ball going through. Inside it goes to Goodrich, and Gloucester throwing it around, and they just can't throw it on for one more pass as Eustace and Forrester tried to end that move, which was thrilling. And now Sale trying to go with Simpson Daniel.
Unlucky, mate, thank you. Knock on, please.
Some wonderful attacking play there from Gloucester. You thought Forrester was through, and the support play from Jake Ball, tremendous. Goodrich there, so much that's good about Gloucester encapsulated. That blinded chase of pace. Sanderson does so well. Ball strong, standing in the tackle. You think, is Goodrich away? No, it's another super tackle, and Eustace can't just hold it. But that was lovely play and valiant defence.
So often the knife at this stage of the game, isn't he, Forrester, just cutting through.
Ball round, no need.
So penalty out the scrum. And coming off too early. And Jim Mallender, lots to ponder. Great debate over his future, the coach. Whether it will be at Sale or not.
Right call though, isn't it? Four, one scrum half, move,
He
Gloucester.
has done an awful lot for Sale, both as a player and as a coach. Fullerton, Simpson Daniel.
Hands out, Gloucester.
Only 5'6", Mark Simpson Daniel. And he's off on his own.
That's not the wisest call.
But it's brave play.
Leave it, come back, please, Gloucester.
First time that three brothers have played in the Premiership. Record made today, the Simpson Daniel brothers.
Get away on
It
the
was
floor.
James with Gloucester and Chris with Newcastle, 97, 98. A little bit of history there for the Simpson Daniel family. They're very proud.
Throw it away, then you don't want the penalty, that's fine, Ash. Ash, leave it, leave it.
And Mark Simpson Daniel's got a penalty for his team here. He was denied in his bid to take it quickly. So your Zurich Premiership man of the match, please.
Well, the nuisance of the match from a Sale perspective has been Alex Brown and his mates in the lineup. That's been dominant. But I think on a weekend when so many players are missing, you look for your lead from your captain. Jake Ball has had a tremendous game again. An outstanding individual player, a collective leader of men. Scored a try, driving for 80 minutes, making his tackles. Jake Ball, once again, man of the match.
Man of the match from last season's man of the season. There to Hercus, to Cueto, to Hanley. I think Mark Foster and Steve Hanley really enjoyed their battle. Both got stuck in. He's going. Fullerton's lost it. McRae, let it go forward off McRae. It's gone forward off Freight now, though.
Okay, 2 knock-ons don't make a right. Scram lost the ball.
Tony Spreadbury. 2 knock-ons don't make a right. There's a new saying for you.
I can think of a mate of mine who speaks in those sort of tongues.
Time off, 2 minutes plus him. Is he out? He can't run, I don't think.
For Alex Brown, 9 line-outs 1 is something of a disappointment. He's normally up in double figures, but he really is a tremendous line-out forward. Again, he's this generation of forwards who don't have a great deal of weight and they get high. He's easy to lift on his own ball, but he's quick mentally, quick on his feet, and he really does elevate himself. He's a hard man to compete against.
He's just come along in a time when England are flush with second rows. Not his fault.
Well, he's an international quality rugby player, of that there is no doubt.
Others would snap him up.
Advantage knock on. Yeah, I've seen it.
Page putting that one through. Referee going back for the knock on.
Disbelief. Well,
they will look at the scoreboard and believe that, and Gloucester well worth their victory, well worth their margin of victory too. 31 points to 12 the score, and they've got the 4 tries. That's what they wanted really at the end of this one. I think of the 2 sides, Sale have been the most disrupted by injuries and international calls. Certainly Gloucester had the pack today, which you thought was going to do the job. And that, as ever, was their basis. And they had the home advantage too, and Simpson-Daniels off and running again.
Hands out, Gloucester! Hands out, Gloucester!
Sanderson's played very well for Sale, hasn't he? Both number 6 have been excellent today.
Hercus. That was like spaghetti junction in midfield there. Odd one for the referee to work out. He's playing an advantage here for Gloucester as he went forward, and now it's Bohr, and he just goes through that first tackle like it wasn't there. What a strong run from Stewart's man of the match, Jake Bohr.
You went to squeeze ball,
but the referee wants that ball to come back quicker than it did, so that's a penalty to Sale. The Gloucester supporters want one more try. They're greedy, but why not?
He is a strong man, Jake Bohr. When he stays wide like that, his great virtue is he comes off his flank and is able to normally offload the pass. He doesn't there, and in fact he's penalised for squeeze ball slowly, but his virtue is nearly all the time he's in that situation he offloads, and it just keeps the attack flowing. And he's week in, week out, he plays at just about the same level. Marvellous performer at club level.
Leave him in the air, please, thank you. Leave him, not too late, thank you very much.
Hercus. And then Mayer, who at least has his moment today. It was a wonderful score from Chris Mayer, but in the final analysis, it's not going to count for anything. But look at Sale, still giving it a go and still driving on and taking Gloucester with 10 metres there from the halfway line. Hanley to Hercus. And here comes Roncero, throwing in! No, he might go all the way! Can the prop do it? This place will go mad! And so will he!
I don't believe it. The virus of backplay may have infected Gloucester over the last 2 years, but there is nothing this place loves more than a prop forward scoring. We've seen Vickery do it, we've seen Woodman do it from 50 metres, and we are talking about 50 metres. Roncero, Rodrigo Roncero, gallops over. What a score.
I mean, look at him. He knew, didn't he? That's the great thing. He backed himself. He's just checking. That's all he's doing. What a try. Rodrigo Roncero. The crowd got their end. McRae puts over the 2 points. The Shed is happy, Gloucester are happy. They're back in third and Howe. They have dispatched Sale, and Nigel Melville and Dean Ryan can be very pleased with the evening's work from their team. Gloucester are building this season. It's a different sort of season to the one they were having last year when they were setting the pace and in the end got caught. What